Hi guys, Merry Christmas to all the Hexicans out there. My name is Alan, with me is Patrick the Hex Lion, and this is the Hex Kryptosparbuch show. We are excited about the Hex price, of course. We will talk about a lot of topics, and let's see what you guys want to talk in the chat, and then we can talk about that as well.
Exactly. Hello, good evening, Alan. Thanks for joining again, like every week. And tonight, for all of you, we have our weekly English update for you, and we are going to discuss a bit the possibility of a new airdrop. We are talking a bit about the price, about the Ethereum price, and then about the Hex price. With the Hex price more detailed as with the ETH price. And for every question you might have, please just give us a comment and we can talk about whatever you want to talk.
Exactly. This stream will be a little bit shorter because we don't have a guest today. Normally, we always have a guest in our English streams. This time we thought it is just a little update, so it is just me and Patrick and you guys, of course. So please feel free to drop any question in the chat so we can talk about that as well. So what is going on? We just had a German stream, and in this one we discussed that there was an airdrop, just like you said. What airdrop was it, Patrick?
It was the airdrop from the 1-inch exchange, and but it's not like the Uni airdrop where like every Hexican who used Uniswap is getting the airdrop, because it was the 1-inch exchange is like a routing mechanism which selects the best decentralized exchange like Uniswap for the user. And only if you used this decentralized routing protocol, it is possible with those addresses to claim the 1-inch tokens. And the second possibility is if you provided liquidity on Uniswap, so not on Uniswap, just on Uniswap.
Yeah, I have to jump in. If you provide it on Uniswap, it doesn't count, unfortunately, so I cannot claim any. You really have to use the 1-inch exchange. There's nothing else you can do.
Okay, because I saw a screenshot that it is possible as a liquidity provider of Uniswap as well.
Oh, okay, maybe then I'm wrong, but I'm for sure a liquidity
you provided
Uniswap. I did that in the past, and I was not able to claim any. So this was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, because I, for myself as well, I knew about the 1-inch exchange, and I used the 1-inch exchange list, but in Uniswap and not directly the 1-inch exchange to bring me to the best decentralized exchange, because we already knew that it is Uniswap where the most liquidity for Hex is. And yeah, there most of us exchanged or swapped there.
Exactly. So this airdrop does not have the biggest impact, just like Uniswap had, but it also shows a little bit in the price. For example, we have Steph, the developer of the stake app, who claimed a lot of 1-inch token and already staked it for 15 years. I think this is so awesome that what this guy is doing, just doing the biggest baller moves and just stake for 15 years. And it's such a huge amount of money he's taking there as well. So I feel a little bit frightening of him, because I'm just a little fish, and he's like, he probably is away. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Steph is the head developer together with Fireban of the Staker app. And this just shows me that he really has a long-term belief in all this work he and Fireban are putting together, So because why should he stake for 15 years if he just want to make a quick money with Staker app and then leave the market and cash out and so on? No, those guys are really here for the long term. Yeah, they want to make it perfect in the first place, and that's why you don't see them like rushing out with updates or something like that. Yeah, they are going to prove everything first, and only if it's working perfectly. And we have a lot of developers in Hex. Even it's like a funny thing. We have a finished product, but really really good, and a lot of the developers. Because in the developers chat there are a couple of hundred people in there. And it's kind of funny that we have the one of the only finished products on the whole crypto market, but still we have a lot of developers who are still providing more and more value for the Hex ecosystem, like Fireban and Steff with the Staker app, like Kodiak who built up the backuphex.com link. If go.hex.com sometimes may not work anymore, then we have here a second one. Then there is another really good developer in the chat who programmed the site hexmob.win, so hex mobile, hexmob.win, and also like hardhex.xyz. It's also a front end where you don't need a MetaMask, just your hardware wallet. So you don't need like to connect it with a empty MetaMask, for example. So you can use it with your hardware wallet directly if you want to. And yeah, it's just a lot of awesome stuff going on in the market.
A lot of sites that only concentrate on Hex content, just like you said. And what is awesome is that they have updates really often. So every couple of weeks we have new things. What I really like, just found out for myself, is in other hex.com, there is this little function where you can see where are the least days of the least Hex stakes. I don't know what this will mean for the future, if this tool will like even out all the stakes in the future. Pretty interesting stuff. So even hex.vision has new stuff all the time with Fireban. He does a lot of great jobs there as well. So we have a lot of viewers now as well. When already Bellied Brand is saying, "Hi friend, what is going on, Bellied Brand?" Charlie Peterson, how many t-shirts are there all in Hex? Thanks.
Yeah, all in all. So Charlie, to answer your question, if you go to go.hex.com, and then you see the start page opening up, and if you scroll down a little bit, you see the total T-shares in every from every past day. So, and if you want to look a bit in the future, you can go to hex.live, and there you see the T-shares, the T-share total of the current day. And when the day moves over to the next day, you see how much T-shares were there yesterday at go.hex.com. And on hex.live, you see like one day, not in the future. So you see the actual day at hex.live, and all the past days you see at go.hex.com.
Patrick, can you maybe quickly explain why this number, what he was asking about, is really important in Hex? And what is your opinion? How will this number behave in the future?
It's very hard to say how it will behave exactly, like nearly impossible. And it's the most important number of the whole ecosystem of Hex, because this number shows you how much power you have compared to everybody else. So you see two numbers. You see the daily payout total, and you see the total pool of T-shares, so the total T-share pool. And if the number of all the T-shares, if it's getting less and less, you get more of the total daily payment, yeah, because the total payment of a day is usually going higher. I say usually because additionally to a ground calculation of daily interest, you have on top of that the daily penalties, and that's why the number of the total daily payout is fluctuating, because of those emergency end stakes or late end stake penalties. So emergency end stake, early or late. And the T-share pool is usually, so it's not written in stone, it can go higher for years as well, but it will be harder and harder to keep it up at the level it is right now. So over time in the future, it will decrease in its total amount. So if you already heard about Hex right now, and if you already made a long-term stake as well, you are you're canceling, like you're locking in the T-shares for the whole time. So when the total pool of T-shares is decreasing over the long time, so not in the short time, not in the weekly or something, so we are talking really in the long term, because if there is a lot of buying pressure in the next few months, we can still see an increase in this T-share pool. But in general and over the long term, it will decrease. And when this is starting to happen, your portion of the pool is getting bigger and bigger percentage wise, because you are locked in your T-shares right now for the whole time, and that's why it's also crucial to not just stake for 10 years, because at the 10-year mark, all the longer pays better boni are maxed out. But there is a huge opportunity to stake between 10 and 15 years, especially for the 15 years. And our models, what we are going to show you at the 6th of January at the HEX Conference. So how is it called? How is the conference called? Help me out.
I think Hex Exchange or something like this. I
exactly.
just know it.
Exchange.
Exchange, exactly.
Exchange 2021. So on the first day of Hexchange 2021, at the 6th of January, at I don't know exactly the time, so like the last hour of the day will be ours. I guess UTC time, it's something 4 o'clock UTC. So 4
I think
a.m.
everybody will look it up on the various pages anyways. So why is the pool, the number of shares in the future decreasing? Because Hex price, the T-share price will only go higher, and that's why it will be harder to buy more shares. For example, today you can buy, I think, one T-shirt for $100. In the future, it will maybe be $1,000 to buy one T-shirt, and this is why we will have a decreasing amount of T-share pool in the future. If this number is going up in the future, despite the higher price of T-shares, then it will for sure be also a higher dollar price, because then people are getting in, buying Hex and staking it. So this is like an awesome game theory we have here, playing really for the dollar price and the T-share price as well.
Exactly. And thanks for all the Merry Hexmas, guys. I really like it to say Merry Hexmas as well.
Yeah, it fits so well. It's just so nice to say.
Exactly.
Hexmas.
And actually, we talked about Christmas presents in the German stream as well. So what I did for Christmas, for some parts of my family, especially for the younger ones, I made additional ETH addresses on my hardware wallet. I put some ETH on there, some Hex on there. I staked the Hex for the maximum. So like for 2035, 2036, when it's their birthday. So like for 14.8 to 50.2 years, something in this range. And for the Christmas day, I just showed them on their cell phone how to download the Stake app, and then I send it their Hex address to them, and they copy paste it in the Stake app, and now they have their own Kryptosparbuch on their cell phone, and they, whenever they want to, they can have a look and see how it grows. And today, one of my older family members already called me, Patrick, did you put something else since Christmas there, because it's already 10% more? And I said, no, it's just price appreciation. Just price appreciation.
Exactly. I see Identity Block has an awesome viewpoint here. I have never thought about that, but he wrote, and he's referring to 15 years. We can use the longer pays better bonus, the big payday bonus, and
Bigger pays
second
better, not big
bigger
payday.
pays better bonus on a second 555 to get more T-shares, while everyone else is fighting billion shares. So this is true. If you have Genesis shares, like shares that include the big payday bonus, you will be likely to have better shares doing in second stake as well. I have never thought about that one. That's awesome. Thanks for this one.
Because actually in 15 years, it is possible that even for a 15-year stake, you might need over $100,000 to get one T-share.
For sure, but it's always better to have the big payday bonus than not to have it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, now we don't need to talk about it anymore, because it was a single day in the past. It was just the day to celebrate the end of the launch phase, and so there is nothing else to talk about it. It was a single huge interest payday, and that's it. Like everybody who wanted to just collect it and then sell it already sold or is still in the way of doing so. If you look at the price, it just looks awesome since the big payday. So big payday was 20th of November. Since that, we made 250% plus. So yeah, I mean, more as like every other cryptocurrency in the top 30, I guess.
Exactly. I just made an awesome meme. Awesome, I don't know, but I made a meme today
course,
that
memes are awesome.
we are in the best appreciating asset 2020 because of Belly Brand just wrote like in the beginning of the stream that it sucks to miss the opportunity to claim the 1-inch token. Don't think about it like this. Then you would also have to say it sucks that you didn't buy Facebook and Google in the beginning when stocks, for example. You cannot think about it like this. You have to think, man, I am in the best appreciating asset of 2020 and you are in it from the beginning. This is awesome. You don't need anything else. This 1x exchange token distribution is obviously nice to have, but actually doesn't matter at all because you are in from the beginning of Hex. This is like the best thing that could happen to you, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, you just be on the positive side. Don't think about things in the past which not even had a negative outcome for you. Yeah, it would be just a thing which would have a more positive outcome for you if you would have done it in the past. So it's not worth the time. Just it's good at all, and just let it be, and talk about other awesome things. I guess you have plenty of topics to talk about.
For sure. And Belly Brand does streams as well. And I don't know how he manages, but he is in every single Hex stream out there, always in the chat, always promoting other streams on Telegram. I think this is one of the most active members in all of Hexo Rico, I think.
Yeah, I also think so. Yeah, so shout out to you, Belly Brand. Thanks for all the work you're giving back to the community of Hex. We are appreciating it very much, and thanks a lot for it. And I'm really looking forward to see you on a Hex a conference, on a live conference, but like on a real live conference. Yeah, and I really hope that next year we will be able to do so wherever it may be in the world.
Exactly. I'm so excited about that, to go on conferences and talk to actual people, like see them, shake their hands. this will be awesome in the future. It will feel like you already know those people, you know. If Bellied Brand, for example, I talked to him in person as well. So many other guys like Toby One, Hex Shinobi, and Identity Block, you see them always in the chat. Now there is Old Man Hex as well. Hi, Old Man Hex. How's it going?
Old
Merry
Man Hex
Hexmas.
is here as well. Hello, good evening. And
I wonder if this is his actual picture. What do you think?
no,
I would say no. It's
no.
It looks a little bit too old, right?
And here we have a question from Toby Van Hexobi. Actually, he already asked us if we want to come on a stream with him. Of course, we wanna do that. Just hit us up on Telegram. We will find time for that as well. Yeah, maybe not this year, but in the beginning of next year, definitely. And we are on DLive as well. Just today, I had to stream it with a slightly worse internet connection, and that's why we are just streaming it on YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch right now, and the content will be uploaded on DLive later, but usually we are able to stream it across 4 platforms on the same time that we are having DLive, Twitch, Periscope, and YouTube. And our DLive handle is DLive/Kryptosparbuch, no?
And also, what a lot of people don't know, we have an awesome Hex community. We are like 4 guys doing this streams here. It is only me and Patrick in front of the camera in the streams, but there are 2 other guys behind the scenes, if you want so, and providing the streams, for example, doing all those materials that we need for the stream. So this is really nice that we are not alone, but we have a whole team behind us, always helping out, and this like really helps us a lot to make weekly streams, because for me, I'm alone, I wouldn't do it like this. I would do it like once in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. This is how I did it in the past, but now with Patrick and now with all the other guys behind the scenes, I'm really lucky every day that I can do Hex content.
Exactly. And Alan, what do you think? Should we go ahead and look at the price?
Sure, let's open the price chart.
Yes. So
Patrick is awesome at those price actions all the time. So now we have Ethereum dollar first, right?
Exactly, yeah. So last week when we last streamed, we said, guys, we are pretty high up right now. We crossed those resistance line from the past. So I'm just going to show you, because I guess it's the first time I'm showing this to you guys in the English language. So if we go really far back, so to 2017, to the last all-time high hype of Ethereum, we see here at 620. Yeah, and you see it better like in the daily chart, but you have here a zone, you have here a zone, and here again a zone, and you see it was like already the downtrend, then it got the spike up again, followed the downtrend, tried it again here until this 620 US dollar zone, and then it continued the downtrend. And since the COVID gap here in March, we are climbing up and up and up. Let's go back to the daily chart, zoom in a bit. So what can we see here right now? We are seeing that still here, this red line, those 620 US dollars, is a high resistance zone. We saw it here, resistance down, resistance down, resistance down, not really getting it down, and then here breakout, 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 back down again, back up, and then we saw right before Christmas in the evening, we saw the dip to 550, and from there you see again strong buy pressure. If I zoom out here a little bit, you see that I have already an uptrend since March, which is this one, and right now I have even a higher uptrend right here. When I go with my mouse over, you see that it's not like a new one. I put it here a week before Christmas, 11th of December, and you saw that only the wicks were outside of this uptrend. So I'm not sure. It may come back here, it may come back here, or even until here. That's like the worst scenario, to see $440 again. But as it looks like, and when you look at the news as well, you only see positive news, and Ethereum often follows Bitcoin. And if we go, for example, to ETH versus Bitcoin, we saw here at first this uptrend breaking back into the uptrend, and now with the breakout of Bitcoin, it broke again. And my guess is that here the 0.26 we will reach back, and then like it was in 2020, 2021 will also be a year where Ethereum is going to beat Bitcoin again.
That would be nice. I like on this chart that actually the resistance line, no, not the resistance line. How do you call this green line that is going up? The upwards trend is like holding strong. It was just for a short time that we broke down, and now we're just following it. And this looks really bullish to me.
Yeah, so of course you can set limit orders if you want to in this region, but don't put all your money in lower limit orders. Go in steps, dollar cost average in. And if you have like $10,000, for example, you can say, okay, every third day I'm going to put $1,000 and then you're done within 1 month. And then you have your Hex back, and then let's have a look what Hex is doing. Hex is doing pretty good. We saw the pump before Big Payday, so the Big Payday pump. We saw the Big Payday dump, and we saw huge buying pressure coming up. We saw only one little retest of the 0.3 zone. I don't know if everybody remembers, but since May, so since 19th of May, this 0.3 cent line has is a strong support, because we touched it here, we crossed it for 2 days here, and here you had like a zone of 1.5 months to get it really cheap, the Hex, and from here it pumped up to 1.5 cents. And here we saw the last test of the 0.3 zone, and boom, up again. I don't know if you remember, but here this fat green line was red before, because it was resistance, because here it was resistance, here it was resistance, here it got to support, it crossed again to resistance, here cross, but no, not quite, here touching, no, not quite, and here we finally broke out, and here we came from up down to the resistance line, and it held, so resistance became support, and from here we are going to climb up again. This upwards trend you see as well, I made the upwards trend some weeks ago, and it looks like it will hold, which is pretty cool actually. And like the last thing I want to show you is the ETH versus Hex chart. And here you also see we are at nearly 11,000 Gwei again. I don't know if you remember my recommendation right after the Big Payday, where I draw a green zone in this area here, where you had also like 7-8 days in this zone to buy up cheap hex, and yeah, now it's looking pretty good. I just exactly here the really resistance here is the 12,000. Why? Because we were up there, reached it there, but then okay, resistance, and here resistance, breakthrough, and here it was support, but then it broke again, and right now I'm guessing that we go until 12,000 Gwei or a bit under that to test it. That we go back a bit, then we might test it, break it already, or like we saw it here, like 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one is the breakout. But it's very likely that next year we are seeing more Gwei per hex again.
I think so too. Hex Clips is saying, in the past we have seen 70% dips. Will these dips repeat? Beat the FOMO. What do you think? Will those 70% dips repeat? I think yes.
I think so as well. Yeah, because it's always that you see some volume forming, not like at the lowest point, but in the middle. Like right now on this on at this point, you see more and more people accumulating and less people selling. So you don't see like just less people selling. It's more like that there are less sellers, because people who are buying hex and staking it long term, they don't want to sell it like immediately. And those people who wanted to sell their big payday bonus or their entire hex bag, so if they came before big payday, they might have already sold, because a trader who stepped into hex before big payday wanted to just trade the big payday. It's like easy as that. And those are out already. So it looks like, so at least to me, it don't look like that it's going down anytime soon. So like down for 20%. Yeah, 20% is possible in a day. Yeah, we have a high volatile asset with hex, but in general, and that's why we are saying dollar cost average in, because as a 20% dip is like nothing in hex. Yeah, and might be eaten up within the next minute or so. Yeah, but that's why it's best to dollar cost average in, because if you start at right after big payday right here to buy your first thing, and then let's say 3 days later you buy the next, 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 here the next, then
well,
here
you don't have the screen share on, so we cannot see what you mean.
I'm sorry. So I said, because before we said if you have like 10,000 US dollars, there might be a strategy to dollar cost average in, and for example, that every third day you're going to buy for $1,000. And if you started right after the big payday, you bought one here, you bought a bit here, you bought a bit in this day, a bit 1, 2, 3 here and here and there and there, So your average might be somewhere here at 0.4 until 0.5. So somewhere here at the green zone. So in total, you're already in positive territory. But if you start like here, then it's crucial to dollar cost average in, because if you suddenly or like out of not enough knowledge or something like that, it happens that you are starting in a cryptocurrency at its all-time high. It happened to a lot of people I talked with who entered the crypto market, because at first they're like, I don't know, and thinking about it, and then when everybody talks about it, the price is there, and then they say, now I'm also going to buy. And that's why it's crucial to dollar cost average in, because if you started in November, like from 2nd November to 2nd of December, then you have also a really good average, like here, somewhere here, I guess, maybe somewhere here, but you're already in positive territory again. Yeah.
We see it all the time when the FOMO kicks in, when the price is really high, people are coming and buying. I don't know why they behaved like this. They're just fear of missing out, of course. And Toby one says we might go through the resistance line. We might go down to 0.0053 or something like this. I think we will not go down. Just like Oldman Hex says, he thinks that the price will go through the Hex Conference and will just climb higher and higher. This is the feeling I have as well. We just have a momentum going on right now, and then things can happen.
Yeah, and actually, right now, I also would say, okay, don't spread it in a long time zone. Your dollar cost averaging in. I would rather say to go in smaller steps, like every day, every 3 days, and in total, like for 1 or maybe 2 months, but actually not longer, because you see it as well. There is not much selling pressure, and we don't need that much buying pressure. So in the very last episode, we calculated like how much money it's needed to get us to 10 cents to $1 to 5 cents. And what I remember, 5 cents was 2.25 million US dollar of pure buying pressure, so without any sells. But that's for 5 cents, so for 1.5 cents you can calculate it. So if 5 cents is 2.22 million, 1.5 cents is X, so you can calculate it your own. I don't do math right
I'm
now.
excited about the 5 cents, even though I say Hex will hit $7 someday. At the moment it hits 5 cents, I will surely do something crazy. I don't know what yet, but
What? Yeah, what? Now we want to know.
Maybe buy the Lambo or something like this. Travel the world and buy a Lambo wherever I am. Let's see. It will be really exciting. I'm really excited about the year 2021. I think this will be a Hex year.
Exactly. And like Oldman Hex is also saying, there is an upcoming Hex conference named Hexchange from the 6th until the 9th of January. Will be hosted online, and Alan and myself will also have a keynote there where we are going to explain you why, or to show you why longer pays better. And we are going to show it to you where we put 2 people together, one who tries to compound his hex on a yearly base, like he stakes for 1 year, he takes his principal plus his total interest, stakes for another year, and continue to do that 15 times. And the person B is a long-term staker who stakes all his hex like the same as person A for the whole amount of time, for the 15 years. And we are comparing those two. And by comparing those, we needed to make a lot of assumptions. The most assumptions in regards to the total pool of T-shares in the future. And for that, we put down a team of Hex OGs, and everybody said his beliefs of the total T-share pool in the next 15 years. And then we put together all the individual datas and made an average amount of T-shares for every year based on all the different assumptions from all the Hex OGs we asked. And from this model, we are calculating it. And yeah, I hope you will enjoy it. And there is a pretty interesting outcome. So, Alan, what was the most interesting outcome of our case study there?
Well, it is not something new that we will show. We know for sure since the beginning of Hex that longer always pays better. But what we did in this presentation there is to show really in detail how is it going to happen and to compare it with two different strategies. And then also we put it into a graph, so we visualize it. And once you visualize it, how much a 15-year stake pays more than compounding interest, for example, or even a 10-year stake, you will never stake less than 15 years again. It is so
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah. So for me, for example, what was most interesting to me was to see how huge the difference between a 10 and the 15-year stake is. Because at first I said like, okay, at the 10-year mark, no, the longer pays better bonus is maxed out. So, and even in the beginning of Hex, yeah, a lot of people said, yeah, and so what's the reason to stake longer than 10 years? And there we are going to show you why there is a huge reason to stake not only for 10 years but rather for 15, because in those last 5 years you get more as in the first 10 years. So
Exactly.
if you're able to wait 10 years, maybe you're thinking about another 50% more that you go to 15 years, and then you have like huge gains in your hand. And after 10 years your gains may be huge, but after 15 years it's like really huge. Yeah.
Can you remember when before the big payday we were saying like, okay, come on, let's meet in Miami for the big payday party and stuff like this, and then we said, okay, for the entrance for the big payday party you will have to need 1,555 days stake, right? And almost nobody did it back then, but I think we saw a lot of 15-year stakes coming in the going in the last week. So I think the people start to understand how important the 15-year stake is. This is really awesome, I think.
Yeah, or
For
it was like
example, Steph, who
existing
just
Hexicans who made Christmas presents for their families.
yeah, or this.
Yeah, I mean, both is possible. Both is possible.
So
But yes, I also think that the people know already that it's worth it to not just to stake for 15 years and not just for 10 years.
I have my letter already done. For example, I did it like before the big payday. I just finished up my letter just how I wanted to have it. And then I was working with Patrick on this keynote, and this really opened my eyes. And I thought, oh man, I would have made my letter different if I would have knew this one before. This little crucial information, this to just visualize
Visualization.
how much
Yeah.
more it pays. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is crazy.
Yeah, I would also have done it a bit different, So I would also have like a 100,000 US dollar recommendation to share. So if you really have 100,000 K to invest, go with dollar cost average. Yeah, go with exchange like Bitstamp. Then you can put some limit orders, like set 10,000 US dollar, 10% down of the current ETH price, 10,000 US dollars, 15% down, and 10,000 US dollars, 20% down. And then you have still like 70,000 US dollars. Then for 10,000 US dollars, you start right away. So when you are having it there, then you start right away. And then you set up your steps when you want to buy. And if during your steps the limit orders are getting
Filled?
so the price filled, are getting filled, it's fine. And if there is no dip in ETH within the next months, 2 months, then you just take out those limit orders when you don't have any more money, just only those 3 limit orders, for example. Then you take out the last one and continue with your dollar cost average. Good. Then in the end, you have your hex back, and just keep 1 ETH for transaction fees liquid as well. And then you go ahead and decide how much percent I want to stake and how much percent I don't want to stake. And those percentages you want to stake, you stake between 10 and 15 years. And the percentage you don't want to stake, you just stake short term. So like 14 days, 30 days, 60 days, something like that. And because then you have your flexibility. So for example, if you say, okay, 80% I'm going to stake long term, 20% I'm going to hold more or less liquid, so in short term. But like those 20% you hold liquid, you only put in one huge short term stake. Because with 100,000 US dollars, or with those 20%, so 20,000 US dollars, you are already getting a bit of the bigger pays better bonus. And so it's also a bit of an income on a monthly or weekly based, depending how you want to have it. But to put 80,000 US dollars for 10 years till 15 years might be a really risky thing to do. But if you believe in Hex, and if you know, like we know more or less, that the price might continue to go up in the future, you just need to wait until the price does a 5x, and then you can sell your 20% of liquid ones, and you get back your 100,000 USD. So all those 80,000 US dollars, you put it for 10 till 15 years, is a free trade right now. And if you did that in the past, like before Big Payday, there were plenty of opportunities where only the 20% were more money as you put in the first place.
You just described a really good strategy, filling in the 10 years to 15 years stakes first, and then always have shorter stakes with those 20% of your money. I think this is really a good strategy. So you don't have
stakes. So just one
stake. Yeah, just put it all together. So you have the longer, bigger pays better bonus, right? So you don't fill in the 1 year, 2 year, 3 year stakes, and because you make them really later, so you gain way more than you would. For example, I just did 1 year stake every year for the next 15 years, and now I wish I wouldn't have done those 21 stakes or 22 stakes, because they are just too short. I should have just gathered them and staked them longer even.
Yeah, but actually those stakes have a huge 1 day bonus, the Big Payday in there, which ain't coming back in the future. So I guess also those stakes will do quite well from you. And
exactly.
This was a strategy after the knowledge of more than 1 year from myself, and really a strategy for a higher amount of money. So because if you want to just start with $100, I would recommend to put it out for 15 years to your birthday, 2035, 2036. And because then, what do you want from a cryptocurrency? Most people want to get rich from investing in cryptocurrency. And most people who only have $100 to invest want to get insanely rich with cryptocurrency, even if they don't only have those $100, And to really get something out of those $100, I urge you more or less to put it like till 2035 or 2036, because only then you have the highest possible power of interest, and only then the stake will increase in return. So the hex increase over time, because the total pool of T-shares in the long run will definitely decrease because the share rate is only going up.
If
And
I if,
with the $100 right now, you can make really good money for 15 years.
if we talk about those 15-year stake, the only thing I can think about is where will we build Hexorico? It's
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean,
15 years from now is such a long time, and in crypto it's even longer. But I think you have to risk it if you just stake $100,
mhm.
Then it's not a risk anyway. So DJ Crypto Omatic says, Abbott, my strategy was the same with the early stakes, but you can now every year just restake that for 15 years. This is what I will do. Doing going forward might still be okay. Yeah, for sure. This is exactly what I do as well. So the next stakes that come out for me, I just take the whole thing and restake it because I don't need the money right now, so I can just stake it for long term.
Exactly,
And still make those t-shirts because
and
t-shirts are low right now.
exactly, and back to my 100,000 strategy before, you can only go and say, okay, I do just 50-50 because $50,000 for 10 years or more is also a huge amount of money, and then you take the other half, the other 50,000, stake it short term, and then you can pay out. So if you want to, you can pay out your monthly interests, or you just compound it every 2 weeks, every week, every month, like you want to. It's your decision. Staking is only optional. You are the network. You decide what to do with your hex. Nobody forces you to stake it. It's just good for you and your financial portfolio. And the other 50,000 you're rolling forward. And if there is a hype, you can say, okay, what I have there is, how much can it be? 10 million, a bit less. Like I have those 8 million hex, and I put it for every 30 days. And after 30 days, I get, I don't know, like 80,000 hex in return. And then I look at the price. Okay, it's not hyping. Let's do another month. Okay, it's not hyping. Let's do another month. Oh, it's hyping. I might sell a bit, So you get this flexibility back. And yeah, of course, you only need a double that you can sell your 50,000, get back 100,000.
You're explaining here a really advanced strategy to sell when the price is high. For example, I'm not that advanced. I never find a top. I always sell the bottom. And this is why
and
stakes
that's why
actually protect me from doing stupid things like this.
That's why I said in the beginning, if you want to, you can just do your 30-day stakes and collect the interest out of it, because then you won't. So that it's pretty impossible, if you do it like for a year, that you find the lowest point each and every month. If you
True,
do
true.
that, I will give you some hacks, okay?
There's no
Like
need for
next
that.
year, if you are really able to get the low of January, the low of February, the low of March, the low of April, the low of May, and so on, then I will give you some hacks, okay?
Then I'm an unlucky bastard, man. Identity Block always has it so nice of putting it. He says Hex gives you the Genesis shares the power to fix your strategy as long as you don't sell. And this is the thing: if you don't sell, you don't lose that much of T-shares. But once you just sell a little bit, you would be so much better off just staking long. And this is what I'm saying: staking long protects me from doing stupid things. Just for example, sell stuff.
Exactly, yeah, but people like to have some flexibility as well in their lives, and Of course, if you are talking about portfolios with $100, with $1,000, yeah, please stake it long term, because usually if you only have 100 or $1,000 to invest, you are likely to be under 50 years, you know? And if you're under 50 years, it's also likely that you live longer than 65. And in a lot of countries, the people are working till 60 to 65 years old, so you might have a nice pension even with only $100 today.
Exactly. Well, think about it, just like Karim put it, just a 401k would be like 2 or 3 times 15 years. So you could do a 15-year stake and then also restake it for 15 years again. So those $100 could really turn into a substantial amount of money in the future if you restake 15-year stakes. This is just crazy talk here, not even moon talk, it's crazy talk, but it could
Yeah, I
be.
mean, in reality, so because I in my family, yeah, for the kids, I have made those 15-year stakes for them until their birthday, 2035, 2036, and when the date is coming, we will end stake it. We will have a look how much hex it is. We will decide together how much we are going to restake, how much he or she wants to have to buy stuff he or she always wanted to have, you know, and the rest is going to be restaked for another 15 years, you know,
Nice.
because yeah, it's like just for the kids in the family, so everybody's younger than me, so they can restake it like 4 times or 5 times or 6 times in their lifetime, you know.
Yeah. And I think only Hex could do such thing, because it's a finished product. I'm saying all the nice words we know already. But what other crypto would you do things like this? None
I
is the answer,
cannot
right?
think about any
Yeah.
any other one. Yeah, because it's also already it's already impossible to or like really hard to find another finished crypto out there. You know, so I don't know, like a finished crypto with trustless interest, totally transparent on the blockchain, 100% uptime, no issues in the code, no problems, no, yeah, inflation bugs or security issues, or, oh, no, I'm sorry, we are late. Yeah, like next week you can have your money back if you want to, if you send some selfies, or if you beg hard enough to, then we give you your money back. No, everything on the blockchain, everything in your own hands, everything optional. So also a trader likes Hex, you know, because what does a trader look for? For volatility. What do you get in Hex? Volatility. So yeah, it's a good currency for everybody.
And
And Ellen and myself are going to continue to talk about that in a digital form. And when we are able to make um, meetings and get togethers, I guess we have the plan to travel the world and tell everybody about Hex.
Oldman Hex says, how much can you expect in a 30-day stake? It always depends on how much you stake, of course,
I mean,
because when you get the bigger
I
stake.
can show you the calculation. Just go to go.hex.com /stake, and then you put in the amount of hex you want to stake. Then you put in 30 for the days you want to stake, and then you see how much T shares you're going to get for the
This stake.
30-day time period. And then let's say it stands 10 t-shirts, or let's say 100 t-shirts. Then you go to the main page, so go.hex.com, the main page. You scroll down a bit, and there you see like how much at one t-shirt got paid in the last 380 days. So you will see that it's about 5.6 to 6 hex per T share, then just take an average out of that, let's say 5.7, and then you put your 100 T shares times 5.7 hex times 30 days, and it's 17,100 hex.
Also, Oldman Hex has a good point here. Hex might protect me from losing money on penny stocks place, and I have a good point on this one. Think about it. Once you know Hex is the best appreciating asset in the world, why would you put your money anywhere else? I cannot even go out and buy me a shirt or buy me whatever stuff because I don't want to lose money on things. I would rather stake it for like a substantial amount of time to make even more money out of that. So I wouldn't put that in any stocks right now. But I would gladly put it into Hex.
Yeah, I mean, also people are asking me like, Patrick, out of diversification, like what other cryptocurrency can you recommend? And I say, yeah, maybe Bitcoin because it's the biggest one, and maybe Ethereum because you already need it for Hex. Yeah, and you're done, because for sure there are like, I don't know, a handful of other cryptocurrencies in the market who might perform the same way as Hex, or who might be from time to time better than Hex even. But I don't know them, and I'm not an expert on them, and I'm not researching 6,000 cryptocurrencies on a daily basis. I'm researching one cryptocurrency on a daily basis. And this one cryptocurrency, I would say I'm an expert on it. And yeah, that's it. We can talk 48 hours in a row about Hex, but please don't come to me and ask me what other cryptocurrency I can recommend. I can recommend you Hex and Hex.
We have dollar cost crypto, or he was known as Litecoin Moses. I always think about him as Litecoin Moses. He talks for about a Cell token, I think it's called something like this. Celsius, yeah, and they are doing good in price as well. But me, for myself, I'm doing Hex memes all day. I'm doing those streams, and all I care really is Hex. I don't have any other crypto. I just have Ethereum for gas, but everything else is staked in Hex, and then it's 100% staked. Also, I don't have any liquid Hex. I'm a full Hexican. No, I'm not even a Hexican. I'm a maximalist in Hex. This is so crazy. I sometimes, if I talk to people, they look at me like I'm a retard because I have everything in Hex and not even Bitcoin, for example. But
yeah, but
it just feels right for me,
Yeah, I also asked like my friend who were asking me what other cryptocurrencies I can recommend out of diversification. I mean, man, if you are in the highest appreciating asset of the entire century, why would you like to put your money into something else? So there is no reason for doing so, because like this year I already did invest some money out of Hex into other stuff. So not in other cryptocurrencies, into other stuff. Don't want to talk about it, other stuff. And I mean, I'm not regretting it, but I would have more if I just kept this money in Hex, even with the dip, because stake it over big payday, then it's not like this dip, so just this dip, and right now everything would be positive region again.
I just love the fact, like some weeks before big payday, not when we had the top, before the top even. I looked at the staker app and the number was just fabulous. I love that number. And then we had the top, we had the dip, and I was like a little bit sad. It dipped 70% or something like this. But now I have more Hex because of the big payday bonus, and also the price is getting up there again. So it's just getting better and better if you are in Hex and if you are staked. I just love it. I couldn't think about being in any other crypto. Seriously.
Yeah, me too. And guys, I guess we gave you a nice Christmas update. We reached an hour. We don't want to make it too long. You know that people are also rewatching us after we made our live. Thanks for everybody to join in on. I guess it's called Christmas Eve. No, I guess it's 25th is the or yeah, is it or not?
I think
I'm
so,
not
yeah.
sure. Like, yeah. So in the German language, Santa Claus is called Christkind. So Christ child, if you want to translate it one by one. And I hope you had awesome days and that Santa Claus brought you some hex maybe in his bag. And yeah, we are looking forward to the stream next week. I'm not sure right now if we will have a guest or not. I mean, it's like over New Year and so on, and it's a bit tricky to get fixed dates, and times. So it's easy together with me and Alan because we are in the same time zone and so on. So yeah, I hope we will make it with an interview next week, and if not, we are going to do the same like today, talking about the hex price, talking about the weekly updates, and yeah, just to give you guys an impression what we are thinking about hex, what the German community, what is going on there, and yes, I guess I have said everything. If you have any questions, you can write us directly in any of the Hex chats, or you can also PM us in Telegram. But please write something else than just hi or hello, because that's the thing all the scammers are writing as well, and you might get banned immediately. So please write some more than just a word. And yeah, that's it. I have nothing to add. Best wishes to everybody. And yeah, back to you, Al.
I always feel so bad if somebody writes just hi on Telegram, and I always just block them and don't even ask or something like this, because then I think, oh, maybe it was a legit guy and I just blocked him. But don't do that. Just also write something about Hex, and then we will always answer. And always also just visit us at our YouTube channel. If you haven't done so, give us a subscription and also give us a like, of course. And that's pretty much it. We will be here next week as well, and we'll be happy to see you again. Bye.
Exactly. So that's it. All the best for you. Goodbye.